Hi internet friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kim. I make videos around tech reviews, advancing your tech career in cozy gaming, and in this video we're going to talk about 5 upcoming cozy games for 2025 and 2026. Understand I'm a little late. We're in the back half of 2025. We're almost at Q4, but we still have a handful of cozy games coming out at the end of this year and some that are coming in 2026. So better late than never. With that being said though, y'all, I had a little bit of difficulty making this video. I'm not going to kill the mood. We'll talk about it later on at the end of this video. With that being said, let's talk about 5 upcoming cozy games for Mac in 2025 and 2026. Okay, first up on our list, we have Vending Machine Co. And this is a game where you run a really kawaii vending machine company set place in Japan. Y'all know anything set in Japan, I'm in there like swimwear. It is a relaxing vending machine management simulator game where you run a vending machine company across cities in Japan. You pick your neighborhoods, you add different stacks, you have to set your prices, you have to maintain the machines, you can upgrade the machines, you can, add little like decorations around it, that kind of thing. It's a pretty simple kind of game, nothing too stressful. And this developer, they've made several other games that are similar to this. They're like management style games. So other games that they have are Ship Inc. There's it's like a TSA game coming out. There's a cashier kind of checkout game. I loved the art style for this. This is kind of what drew me in, the colors and the art style. But at its core, it's a pretty simple management kind of game. Like I mentioned, this game is coming out in Q4 2025. There's a demo out right now on Windows. Not for us Mac users, but no actual release date yet, but look for it in the final months of 2025 if you want to check this out. Next up on our list is Twinkleby. This is brought to us by developer and publisher Might and Delight. This game is slated for release on September 23rd, 2025. So coming up real fast. Depending on when you're watching this video, it might already be out. And it is a cozy decoration game where you live on a floating island and you get to build up your house. You get to build up your little neighborhood and you get to have little antiques. You get to make your trees. You have little floating boats, floating docks. Really, really cute game. Hardcore Animal Crossing vibes with this one. Real hardcore here. Maybe that's their inspiration. So if you liked Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer and you love the decorating aspect of any type of simulation management game, I think you're going to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over this. The characters are really cute. The art's really cute. But at its core, it's a decoration simulation game. I could see people having a really, really good time with this game because I've seen some of the crazy like towns and stuff that people have made in Animal Crossing. So I think it just takes that aspect out of it and just puts just that part in the game, which I think some people will really love. Like I mentioned, this game is coming out on September 23rd, 2025. Add it to your wish list. Wholesome Games just sent out a little email about this game, hyping it up, and I can't wait to see some of the towns that people build. Okay, so next up on our list is a very highly anticipated game that I've heard a lot about, but don't have a ton of updates for, and that is Loftia. And Loftia is a cozy multiplayer world game where you can build a brighter, more sustainable future. You can connect with your friends, play together. You can farm, craft, explore, decorate, and make a meaningful impact together. This game is developed and published by Cloud Games. And just looking at the art style, it's really cute, cozy. You're in floating islands and floating worlds, and it is a very promising game. So one of the key features about the game is that it is meant to kind of simulate a world where everything is sustainable and we are being kind to our planet. So you want to take care of your planet and your little world. And so you can decorate, you can farm, and you can craft. And through doing this, you also have trash and resources that you can then use to recycle to then build and do other things. Farm some of your stuff. You have windmills that you can build. There's a ton of different resources that you can find. There's islands. There's different biomes in this game that look really cool. And then you can also adopt cute little pets. You can have dogs. You can have capybaras. You can have turtles. I love that aspect. I don't know what they're going to do in the game, but you can adopt those and give them little outfits. And then, of course, you can also just hang out with your friends and just explore this beautiful world of Loftia. This game has no release date. I have it on this list because I am holding out hope that it's going to come out in 2026. We might push this into 2026, 2027 Mac Cozy Games, but Cloud 2026, we would love to see this game come out. No rush, of course, but add this to your wish list and you can subscribe to their newsletter and follow them on social media for more updates if you want to see when this game is actually going to come to a Mac device near you. Okay, next game on our list is really, really different from most of the games that I really see when it comes to the cozy gaming genre. And I don't even know if I would classify this game as cozy gaming per se, but we're throwing it on this list. And that is Simon the Sorcerer Origins. This game is developed by Small Things Studios and the publisher is NN. And Simon the Sorcerer is the story of a teenage sorcerer who finds out that he's a wizard and he goes on different quests. He does different puzzles and he learns how to master his spells, going on adventures and discovering the world of magic. It is an adventure point and click puzzle game that blends hand-drawn 90s style art with classic gameplay mechanics. This game's a prequel to a series that came out in the 90s. And the game actually had voice actors in the 90s. And they brought back the voice actors to do this game as well. With that being said, this is a game that's kind of like witty and cheeky. So there is some sarcasm to it. There's some humor to it. And it really helps spice up like the storyline in the game and makes it really fun and interactive to play. Something really different, I think, for games in general, which is why it's on this list, because this one really stands out from all of the other games on this list. This game is scheduled to release on October 28th, 2025. So if this game is something that you're definitely interested in checking out, or you want to check out and get familiar with like how games were in the 90s, I highly recommend you add this game to your wish list because it is definitely on mine. Okay, friends. And then the last game on this list for upcoming cozy games for 2025, 2026 is called The Pursuit of Life. And this is developed and published by Dreamboat Games. This is a cozy 2D pixel art life sim. So one of the biggest reason why this game is on this list is because of the features that it has to offer and like the different things that you can do in this game, which I'll be honest, I haven't really seen a list like this as far as things that you can do in a life sim other than The Sims. So I'm real jazzed. I'm not going to talk about all the features because there's a lot, but I'm just going to give you high level what's really speaking to me. And that is the fact that it is an open-ended sandbox. And there are 4 different biomes. You have the suburbs, you have the bustling downtown, you have beaches, and you have tranquil mountains. So you have different biomes that you can travel to and do things. But within those different biomes, there are different unique jobs that... Now sorry, I lost my train of thought, my stupid watch. Within those different biomes, there's unique jobs, events, and secrets that you can uncover. So depending on what biome you're in, you can have a different job. Now, with those jobs, you have career ladders that you can climb. You have different fame and reputation statuses. You also have branching social quests that affect the storyline. I am huge on branching quests and storylines because it adds so much replay value to a game when what you choose affects different outcomes in the game. So I think that is a huge thing that they added that is fantastic. You also have different relationships that you can build and story arcs, which again, affect the storyline in the game. In addition to that, you have all the customizations. There's little mini games that you can do. So you can like have different gigs, you can grind, you can have a little side hustle. And one of the other key aspects of this that I'm really looking forward to is the fact that it has a system-driven economy. So you can rent, buy, and invest in your city and in the storefronts in your city. And then you can have like a marketplace and then run your little businesses based on supply and demand. So it's combining a lot of different things and some of these other games that I mentioned that only focus on that one thing and brings it all into one game. If you I like that this is a pixel art game, which I'm not like huge into because I feel like pixel art games just like don't have the depth as far as visual attraction for me. But when you add all these different things that you can do in a pixel art game, it makes up for that. And honestly, I'd rather it be in the gameplay itself than just in the graphics. With all those things being said, there is no release date on this game. I added it to this list because I'm holding out hope that 2026 will be the year for this game. However, take that with a grain of salt. Add it to your wish list. It's definitely going on mine. There also are not a lot of, there's not a lot of information about this game right now. There's not a lot of like previews, not a lot of trailers, not like a lot of like just information in general. But as information comes out, I will do my best to keep you updated because this is very high on my list of games that I'm very much looking forward to whenever it comes out. But let's talk about some honorable mentions because I know we're getting out of 2025 here real quick, fast, in a hurry, and we're going to be entering 2026. There are still some honorable mentions of games that I talked about in the last video that I did that have not been released yet, that are either slated for 2025 or 2026, or they're just going to come out at some point, hopefully, which include, I didn't actually talk about this game in my last video, but Fishbowl. Fishbowl is a slice-of-life coming-of-age story, and it is about a young woman who is dealing with the death of her grandmother. I played this demo. It is out right now and available on Mac to play. Y'all, this game is real sad. It's real sad, but I'm very much looking forward to it. There haven't really been a lot of updates about this game since I played the demo like 6 months ago, but I hope it's still coming out. So, honorable mention for Fishbowl. Next game, still super high on my list that has a demo out right now, and that is InKonbini One Store Mini Stories. InKonbini One Store Mini Stories is the story of Makoto Hayakawa, I think her name was. And she runs a convenience store in the 90s. So you stock your shelves, you have conversations with customers, and you get to have branching storylines. Y'all know I'm all about anything from Japan, and I'm all about branching storylines. This game does have a prologue out right now that's only available on Mac. I don't know why y'all developers tout games that are compatible with Mac, but don't give us the demos. It's disrespectful. Like, we play games out here. We do. Come on now, why y'all leaving us out? Anyway, it has a prologue out right now on Windows if you want to check it out. But this one is like top tier, top list for me. I'm looking forward to this game. It had a release date for 2025, but most recent look at the Steam listing does not have one anymore. So I'm not sure what's going on with this game, but it is an honorable mention and it is on my list and I think it's worth checking out. Other honorable mention that I mentioned in my last video was Surf Club. I'll just link the video. I'll just put a link to my last video about Surf Club. Surf Club is a game of a young woman named Holly, and she returns home in hopes of rekindling an old relationships. It's very vaporware 90s kind of vibe with the art style and the music, and it just looks really chill and cute. Surf Club has also, there's been no updates for this game in quite a while, and their website is no longer available. So it leads me to believe that this game is not, it might be getting scrapped. I don't know, but I'm holding out hope that 2026 might make a comeback for this game, but Surf Club is an honorable mention as well. And then the last honorable mention, which is probably, yet again, I think the biggest game on this entire list, and that's Paralives. Paralives has a release date, y'all, of December 8th, 2025. This game has been in the works for I don't know how long, for a hot minute, for years, y'all. And this game basically is like The Sims. You get to create your character and live in an immersive world. And it is a life simulation game. And it is probably, I think, going to be a great competitor to The Sims, other than like Enzoi, which I didn't play Enzoi. I'm looking forward to Paralives. I talked about this game in my last video, which I've left it for you down below where you can hear more about it. But this game, December 8th, 2025, add it to your list. It's coming out, y'all. It's going to be coming out in early access though. With that being said, it brings me to this next part of this video, which is, well, now we're going to come to the part of the video that I'm really struggling with, and I'm going to try and be as nice as possible when I say all this stuff here. Let me get my notes up. I think the gaming industry needs a hard reset. I think we need to press pause, eject the disk, unplug the router from the power source, let it sit for 30 seconds so it can power cycle, flush your DNS and your cache. Like, we are so oversaturated with poor quality, half-baked, unoriginal, boring, rinse and repeat games. I think we need to stop making games for a little bit. Honestly, there's too many people making games that they shouldn't be making. And I think shareholders, producers, the folks that are in charge of all of those things don't actually make games that people want to play. That's honestly how I feel. Because when I was looking at all of the upcoming games that I could find on Steam for Mac. It was really hard to make this list because the majority of these games, y'all, are the same game that we've had, just with a different look, a different title, different developer, a different publisher, like different looking characters. It's a farming game. It's a life sim. It's 2D pixel art, or it's decorating. It is straight up all the same, and I am extremely fatigued of all of that. Everything's trying to be the next Animal Crossing, or it's trying to be the next Fields of Mystria, or even if we're talking about consoles now, it's trying to be the next Final Fantasy, or it's trying to be, I don't know what it's trying to be, but it's trying to be disappointing, and I'm looking at you, Tales of Shire. I would like to think that in 2025, we have the best access to technology, the best access to resources, the most experienced writers, artists, publishers, but yet we can't get something new, fresh, and innovative. We get like one, I feel like, a year, like of all the games that come out. When you look at the consoles and the big publishers and the AAA titles, or the lack of AAA titles, we can't get new franchises. When was the last time you got a new franchise that you were just like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over, that just like blew your mind and just like really transformed how people play video games and made them love it? This is why I go back to playing some of my older games, because some of the older games from, I think, the 2001 and like 2013 was like the best stretch of games that we had. We had some of the best, biggest, most memorable games of all time. And despite the fact that our technology is just bonkers, and our experience level of people in the gaming industry is just bonkers, everything is the same and it's boring, and it's all about how can I make money. I don't feel like publishers, executives, half the time, I don't even feel like developers and publishers like understand what video gamers want when they develop some of these games. Tie that with the fact that games are so easy to push out. We have so many games that are just trying to be the next big thing, and for people trying to make money, that we just aren't making games that are fun. They're just boring. When I was looking at this list on Steam, y'all, there was a straight up rip-off of Camper Van Make It Home. That's what we're doing. Who's about to buy that? There's no originality. There's no new anything. It's all just the same across the board. And then the other issue I have with the gaming industry is the abuse of early access. So earlier in the video, I said put a pin in the topic of Might and Delight, the developers and publishers for Twinkleby. Cute game. Looks exactly like Animal Crossing to me. I'm not going to be picking it up. But that aside, the other game that they developed that looked so interesting to me and looked really, really fun and different was Book of Travels. And I almost bought it, y'all. But then I went to look at the reviews. Not good. Very indicative of games that go into early access, which is, games go into development and then all the money gets spent and then they need a way to make more money. So games get released early under the premise of, well, this is still under development. These features are still kind of in beta. We're testing out some things. We got to get this game out to make money. So give us money now so we can finish up the game. But then they don't actually finish the game and then they just like abandon it. And there's so many games that like fall into this trap. And I think developers are definitely abusing early access. And I don't think it's supposed to be used as a way to like generate more money and then leave your game unfinished. And people feel like they're getting scammed. People feel like they're getting duped, and people are losing trust in video game companies and developers and publishers because they're like not giving us things that are worth money, and money's tight for everyone right now. I totally get it, especially for game studios because they've been having it real rough. I feel like game studios have had it real rough over the past three years, like real rough. And I get it. So let's scale back, or like, let's take a break. But like, let's not develop a game for 7 years. And then when you get ready to realize you're almost out of money, do an early access, and then half your game isn't finished, which is my concern for another game on this list. I'm really looking forward to Paralives, y'all. But the things that I have been hearing, Paralives, I'm not hearing word on the curbs that Paralives is not shaping up to be what they've been touting for all these years. And I'm a little concerned. And I'm hoping it's just bad information. But I say all this to say the gaming industry needs a reset. And that's coming as someone who's been playing games since the original Game Boy and the original Nintendo, someone who's worked in the gaming industry, and someone who just really loves video games. I think we need to take a break. I think the entire industry needs a break. I mean, I think we need to get back to making fun games that are memorable and new games. And if we can't do that, then don't do it. But don't flood the market and keep oversaturating the market with like, okay, subpar, poor quality games. And I don't care if they're free to play. Halia on the Switch. You know what? Let me stop. With that being said, let me stop because I'm not trying to rip on anybody, but like, I mean, when I say the gaming industry needs a reset. So if you're looking for games that you can play right now that are available to play on your Mac right now, I recommend Is This Seat Taken, Duck Detective, Tiny Bookshop. Those are all games that I have gameplay footage of on my channel. You can go check it out. And then one game that I have in the works that I need to finish editing is Copy, which is very similar to Overcooked. I love Overcooked. So if you are a player of games and you like stress and teamwork, I definitely recommend Copy. And I'll have a video coming out about that game also really soon. But with that being said, if you sat through this whole video and listened to my rant and there's any games on this list that you are going to check out, please let me know down below. If there's any new games coming out for Mac in 2025 or 2026 that you think is worth sharing, please leave it below and I will check it out. If you don't check out any more videos from me, feel free to check out any of the videos that are coming up next.